Kanina po, meron po tayong mga 400 to 600 po kanina. And our church reached 65 in more countries. And this is all by the grace of God. Sinasabi ko po ito, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because in spite of all what we're going through this year or last year, especially our family in 2020, there's no comparison po eh. I know our family, hindi lang po kami dumanas ng mga ganung pagsubok, but from 2020 po when the Lord decided to let Sister Dory or Mommy go home early, we couldn't accept it and we keep asking why. I mean, you know, it's still young. But then okay, if that's what God wants, sabi nga ni Brother Eddie, who are we to question the potter? We're just the clay. So that's okay. But then followed by Sister Joni, Mayor Joni, it's a bit shocking. And then with that going through our families, the COVID is present. Ano po ba? Parang there's always a question, Lord, pinaparusa mo ba kami? Lord, ano po bang nangyayari? And I'll be honest po, kami pong family, even Pastora Jovi, we're trying to find the answer to our questions. Lord, why? Marami po sa atin, most of us have a question. Hindi man po same yung pinagdaanan po natin, but sometimes we question the Lord, why this happened to us, to our families, why this COVID is still here. And si Brother Eddie po, he has a good answer to that. Sabi niya, the reason why God is not lifting this COVID or ending this COVID, maybe He hasn't seen the real people repenting or something like that. And somehow, some way po, I agree, but sa akin po, connected po ito sa ating pag-uusapan ngayong gabi. Right now, the world is waiting for the answer. And we're banking the answer. We're hoping this vaccine that was being developed by any medical agency will cure and help us to go back to touring the world, handling summits, going to Australia, going to New Zealand, going to wherever that there are JIL churches handling summits, handling gatherings. And siguro po, we're too focused on the wrong answer. Maybe. Wala naman pong masama, I think, for us na to have the answer from the vaccine. But yet, most of the people, even the world population, is banking on this vaccine to save us. But the real answer to this pandemic is not just the vaccine, or neither the vaccine itself, but going back to who created everything, and that is Jesus. Sabi ko po kanina, I was sharing to the National and Central, what if po, itong COVID na to, pandemic po kasi tawag talaga dito eh, it's a global pandemic. What if lang po, isipin lang po natin, it occur to us, maybe not a punishment of God, but it is a life vest or a lifeboat to His people. Naisip niyo po ba yun? Parang ang hirap ng isipin, di po ba na, paano nire-rescue tayo ng Lord? Nag-uusap po kami ni Brother Eddie, the reason why I was mentioning this, because naisip ko po, maybe God used this pandemic to save us. Saan po yun? The world, we all know that many people are so focused on material things. Things that we can have, things that we can see, things that we can hold, things that we can possess, and there's nothing wrong with this. But if these things that we put so much time on take away the quality time in worship, that becomes the problem. The reason why I mentioned, maybe this is God is saving to us, okay, since you cannot go out, so since nobody can go gathering, you're just at home, you're just focused on me, ikaw lang at ako, I'm waiting for you. But yet, still, even though that we are alone with God, we can be alone with God, we have all the time that possibly have for the last year and even this year, yet we can only measure the time that we spend on worshiping God. And yun po, sinasabi ko po ito kasi guilty po ako dun eh. Again, like what I mentioned, dumaan po ang family sa isa pong pagsubok, isang trials, isang heavy, so many questions was left behind for us. But yet, God, I found out and I've learned that in my questions, God is not required to answer all of them. Alam niyo po, sa lahat po ng bawat tanong po natin, God is not required to answer all of them. You know why? Because He's God. And this where becomes, for me personally, somehow it aggravates, not aggravate, but it kind of, parang di ko yata gusto yung way na yun na He doesn't really have to answer my questions. I have so much questions. But then I realize, and this journey that we have, that we're going through, it depends on how we look at it. And it is only going to be okay, and it's only going to be okay to the measurement on how well do we know our God. If we believe that this God has a plan for your life and my life, even in this hardest time, then He will have a plan. That He has a plan. If we believe that this God that we are worshiping, that every Sunday, Wednesday gatherings, even the Zoom, we're putting so much time on it. We could have just been sleeping or resting or eating or cooking. Kaya ko kasi si Kuya Robert, magaling po magluto yan. Hi Kuya. We could have just doing something else. But yet, we choose to have this time together. And for me po, para pong yun po yung hinahanap, yun po yung gusto po natin gawin sa JIL worship. Maibalik priority and the approach in worship with awe. When is the last time that we worship God and we are all amazed? When is that last time that when we close our eyes and just lift our hands, now without even saying anything and singing, we felt the presence of God strongly? When is the last time that we intentionally made time in our busy schedule, whether it's 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, of intentional, because we have to do it intentionally, or else we're not going to be able to do it, because there's only so much time in a day that it is divided to our daily routine. But when is the time that if we intentionally spend time with God and just really, Lord, I'm just gonna worship you. Naalala ko lang po yung ating mga pastors po na nauna po sa atin, because this is international, sa international po yung most of our first worship leaders natin po. Of course, si Pastor Jess Maghakot nasa USA po, Pastor Bert, Arizona po yata, if I can remember. Si Pastor Rani Adera nasa Canada po. Dito po sa Pilipinas, si Pastor Dino, si Sister Beng. And them, whenever I talk to them po, whenever I ask them to share the story of Arroyo Days, because we always hear the Arroyo Days, the JIL Arroyo Days. What is it? Why is it so important to our journey, our JIL worship journey? Because they experience that they don't have to struggle, and the presence of God is so powerful. Sa kwento po nila, sa kanila pong testimonies, and then even some videos that we watch that is available to us, pumapasok pa lang po, crowd is just still going inside the sanctuary, they're beginning to cry, they're beginning to feel the presence of God, the healing process of their physical body or whatever they're going through that day, it's already being touched by the Lord. And yes, we might say it's hard to duplicate that, but you see, we don't have to duplicate it. Because Brother Eddie, on the 40th anniversary, ano po yung sinabi niya? God will dwarf what God has done for the past 40 years of the JIL. And guess what po? In this generation, the JIL worship team, kasama po kayo, tayo po makaka-experience dun.